This summer, turn your gifting game up during the Summer Plant and Garden Sale at 1-800-Flowers.com. Right now, you can score up to 30% off succulents, bonsais, fresh-cut blooms, and more. Whether you're celebrating a birthday, sending a thank you, or a just because surprise, 1-800-Flowers lets you save big on a stunning selection of gifts. Save up to 30% off during the Summer Plant and Garden Sale at 1-800-Flowers.com/podcast. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/podcast. Gift something unforgettable today.
You alright? Merry Christmas. Obviously, as of today, well, for today in the next couple of weeks over Christmas, the website's closed. But I thought, because we've had a few Christmas cameos go out, thought we'd turn them into some cameos for Tigbiddy Dave for his Christmas. So if you're into that, you're going to like this. We've got one that was to a group of college kids, university kids, something like that, I think. They were calling themselves Mech B. I think we can use the name for it, because you're never going to be able to find them just off of that. The other one is for just a guy, just getting a little Christmas message from someone else. And the other one isn't particularly Christmassy, but, I needed 3. So fuck it, you got them as well. So you'll get a discount code about halfway through, a little discount code from my website. So listen along for that if that's all you're interested in. Otherwise, let's crack on with... We'll go for the one that's just for the guy. Here you go. Merry Christmas, Tigbiddy Dave. Skinny Mickey asked me to send you a little Christmas message. Now, he's told me quite a bit about you, mate, so we could have some distance. Fucking trains me every single time. It seems like a bit, innit? Like I press a button, like I press this button over here and it makes a train noise. But the annoying thing is I can't redo the video because it'll just send Tigbiddy Dave
this. Well, send
Skinny Mike
this for
Tigbiddy Dave.
So anyway, we'll carry on anyway. Fucking, you just saw the little foxglove puppet there. He has told me a fair bit about you. Apparently you look like Phil Mitchell. Now, if you've got a bit of a keen eye on you,
Tigbiddy Dave,
you'll notice that I've... Can you see? Can you see this? Look at that, mate. Look at that there. That bit of squeezable there, mate. That's because I thought these kind of looked like what I presume your head looks like. Because apparently you look like Phil Mitchell, which makes me think you've got an head like a fat woman's tit. So there you go. Look at that, mate. You hear the noise off that? Little squeezable tits, mate. It's mint, innit? I got no idea why people make these, but I've got 4 of them. Look, you can make yourself look like some form of dog. So it's fucking sick, mate. So you get one. I'm not putting them under my shirt because it's too cold. So you got one there, and then you can put the other one obviously up there where it makes sense. They're looking a bit like that. Should we bring them a bit closer together so that they look a bit more natural? And then, because in keeping with the keeping natural, we want it to look like a dog's tits. So I'm gonna put another one there. This is fucking vintage. Yeah, and then you're gonna have to lean back so they don't all just fucking drop out. So it's just gonna look silly if they fall out on the floor. And then we got a couple more. They are. Can you see the nipples? Is it better if I lift this up? You know what? For this, I'll lift this up here. Here you go. So, can you see them? Can you see the nipples? Does it work? Do I look like a dog? I mean, we can always just fucking... I don't have anything that's that sticky here. I'm not super gluing a fucking fake tit to my jumper. But, the idea anyway is you have one there. Maybe if we go like this. What do you reckon? And at this rate, it's unfair to say your missus looks like Phil Mitchell. But apparently you've got a missus and 2 daughters. So we'll get rid of one of these, right? And then it's a perfect representation of what I imagine your house looks like from an aerial view. Plus then you've got maybe, a different head here. Minus the nipples, of course, because I imagine if you look like Phil Mitchell, then there's a fucking good chance at least one of your daughters does. So we'll get rid of one tit. and then we'll just wear them here. There's another train, mate. But fucking, I thought there was something coming out the nipple, mate. I didn't know it does this. But it was just the string falling. I just felt it on my fingers. So this, at this rate, this is you. And this could be one of your daughters, because they've got to look a little bit like Phil Mitchell if you do. What else have we got? Apparently you love Christmas, mate, so we would have... Wait. There you go. That's you. So it can look... Wait, we can make it look like... Let's make it look like... Have you ever watched Mystery Theatre 3000? So now you're here at the bottom of the screen, watching the video as it's being recorded. There you go. Oh, give me a second there.
Sigbody Dave.
One sec. I keep wanting to call you Phil Mitchell. I want to make this work. Alright, we can have it sticking up, but it doesn't look right. Fuck it, I'm not going to sew a fucking Santa's hat for you on a video. That's fucking dumb. But that's you there now.
Sigbody Dave.
You're here. You're in the video, mate. Your Christmas loving self. You've got loads of ornaments in the window, but you don't have me fucking nativity, do you? You haven't bought that, have you? You fucking cheap cunt. Look at this. This is Mary and Jesus, but the faces have been remade out of rat scrotum and a grouse's claw and a baby chicken's claw. You might like that if you're big into Christmas and you're big into my stuff. You might want to... It's a bit dear, but it is a lot of rat scrotums, and I could have put them into necklaces. Apparently you made some money from a YouTube video. I've never made any money off of YouTube, me. I'm pretty sure I'm shadow banned on YouTube for posting fucking at least maybe 70 hours worth of misinformation filled podcasts, or disinformation or misinformation, lies and fake science and history, just for my own amusement. And obviously all the dead rats and that as well, like this pencil case. This is what
Skinny Mickey
I wanted to get you for Christmas, but I haven't made any yet for Christmas, so well, probably not going to be able to make any in time for Christmas. And I don't seem to have a pencil knocking about. So there's a good chance that pencil's ended up in someone's order. Give me a second. Have a quick look in this drawer. I might have one. No, I don't have a pencil to show you its sharpening, but if you're a big fan of the videos, I'd
Sigbody Dave, you
probably already see me sharpen a pencil in it. But I was going to do it, you know, with your head there, but unfortunately we can't. Now, are you jealous of this tufty head, this tufty tutor? Because he's obviously got a better head of hair than you. This could be
Skinny Mickey.
Though I'm guessing we'd have to have him down here, but it's not really going to work. What about if this... a bit of ginger, maybe he's ginger, maybe that's why he's so obsessed with your lack of hair, because you rip him for being ginger. I'm not sure. I don't know what he looks like. He's not really told me anything about him. He did want to send me this video of you on YouTube falling down in your drive, but I'm going to be dead honest with you, Adam. I'm not that interested in watching a fella fall over. I grew up watching You've Been Framed, and I think I'm pretty sort of desensitised and bored to watching people fall over. Now, I do remember one of the videos that stands out to me that one of my old bosses showed me was a bunch of lads trying to stop the scaffolding falling into a train track, and they're grabbing it and it's fucking dragging them off like that, and then it hits the fucking power lines above, and it just fucking roasts them, mate. Just fries them, and you see the fucking steam coming off the bodies and that. So I don't think you're going to top that in it. Not that I like watching, you know, evil videos like that. It's just one that stuck with me because I watched it when I was quite young and sort of stayed in my head. I don't really know what else I can really say to you. Have I got any more Christmas ornaments? I've got some Christmas ornaments here. You can see the befores. So I've got this. What else have I got in here? Where's some of this? So I'm going to be... Fuck off. I'm going to add some claws to these. I've got some little dinosaurs here. I'm going to add some chicken claws to the hands and the toes. So it looks like they've got real claws. And I'm going to put some baby chicken feet coming out at the bottom of this dove here as well, so you can hang that on your tree. Probably change this string here to red and white string, because I think that looks a bit shit, doesn't it, these sorts of string. Looks like what you'd have on, you know, fucking... I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. It looks like, you know, when you get... Sometimes you have to pull a bit of string off to unwrap something. It looks a bit like that. Don't look that great. But I've got quite a lot of them that I'm going to be making today for Christmas. Probably my last day of making stuff for Christmas.
Sigbody Dave.
So you're sharing that with me, yeah. But I hope you have a nice Christmas, mate. Oh, when you was a kid, your nickname was Beef, which implies that you're probably quite a big guy. And looking like Phil Mitchell means that I'm guessing you maybe look like Phil Mitchell when he was younger, rather than looking like Phil Mitchell now. But I think you'd, out of all the EastEnders, yeah, out of all of the EastEnders characters, I think everyone would want to look like Barry, innit? Because Barry was mint. Barry's like the guy from EastEnders. I don't even watch EastEnders, but I'd recognise Barry. I'm not really big into soaps and that. I find them boring. I find them very hard to follow. Like musicals and that, mate. I find musicals hard to follow. Because with a soap, it's that fucking Chekhov's gun constantly, innit? It's like, oh, we're seeing this now, but we will get the payoff from it, but it'll be in 6 weeks' time when you've already forgotten about this. But in 8 weeks' time, we'll have discarded all of this story altogether and we'll never reference it again. But you'll keep watching it for years and years, and they might nod to it every now and then by mistake, and you'll think, oh, that's because of such and such. Same as in musicals, mate. Though in a musical, you'll watch people sing and that, and then 20 minutes later, someone else will talk about that song, and then they weren't even in the room, or they'll reference it, or they'll sing a bar from it or something, and it's fucking stupid, mate. I was thinking last night to myself, though, let's go and have a little sit down. I'll bring you with me. Don't you worry, don't worry. You're still here. Here you go. I've got my hand on your head, mate, and squeezing your head for you. Like, squeezing your head like a newborn baby. This would be a mint way to carry a baby, though. You just fucking grab it by its top of its head, and just while its head's still soft, so you can get a good purchase in its head. And you just swing it around, mate, help it grow. Get it longer and taller. It'd be stronger as well. Probably not smarter, though, I wouldn't have thought, because that's getting quite a dent there in your head. So this is probably not great for the baby's like psychological development. Probably quite scary for it and all, you know. Forcing it to wear this Santa's hat as well. How can we get this? Yeah, now you're on my lap. I'm trying to keep you in the video. I'll probably have to just hold you. There you go. See, I've got my head on you. I'll just keep rubbing your head like this.
Tigbiddy Dave.
There you go. So
Skinny Mike.
If you're watching, can you start rubbing
Tigbiddy Dave's
head now from this part? I was thinking last night, what if airports are a lie, innit? And I put this out on Reddit and people weren't too keen on it, but I'll share it with you, mate. So I was looking out the door and I let the dog out for a shit last night, and I noticed that there's them flashing lights in the sky again, airplanes. But what if they're not? What if we just believe they're aeroplanes? Keep rubbing his head for us,
Skinny Mike.
What if they're not actually? It's like your head's on my lap now. I'm just gonna keep rubbing it. So I'm hoping that you're doing this for me,
Skinny Mickey,
because I'm trying to make this like a 4D, 5D experience. So you really want to fucking start getting in there now, dig your nails in me, properly, like fucking. There's another train. What's mad is these trains don't stop at the local station. I've got no idea what these even are. That's a fucking it looks just a fucking fancy train, but they never stop here. But what if we're on about planes, not trains? So what if in airports, right? What if airports are just a psychological operation?
Tigbiddy Dave.
What if what they actually do is they just pretend that all of these other people there are getting on flights, but realistically it's only a few flights at a time going out, and the other planes are just sort of, you know, like how they used to have the cardboard cutouts of ones during the war, and inflatable ones to make it look like there was more machinery and that to scare any enemies when they flew overhead. And they think, fucking hell, they're well prepared here. Which never made sense to me either, because if we're at war in France and Germany, how does fucking like 200 tanks scare them when they come to over England? They're like, oh, fucking hell. You know, they got 200 tanks there. And they're just like, well, if all of the tanks are there, why don't we just invade from over here? The Scottish don't like them. We'll just use that to our advantage. Do you know what I mean? That seems like a lie in and of itself. But anyway, in the airports, what if they've paid actors and got drama students in and stuff like that to just pretend they're in queues and queue up for all these other flights, just so that when we look out at night, when we see these lights in the air flashing and flickering and moving around, we go, it's a plane, that. I know that's a plane, because every time I've ever been in an airport, it's busy. Every time I see an airport on the telly, it's busy. They're always saying, oh, it's Christmas time, it's the busiest time of the year for the airports. I don't know anyone that's ever gone on holiday at Christmas, do you? It's fucking weird. It just seems like that's another little trick to make us think, oh, you know, be grateful you're at home. Be grateful you're not getting on one of these aeroplanes. These aeroplanes exist. Remember, the aeroplanes exist, mate. Do you know what? Does that make sense to you? I fucking exposed your little nipple there.
Tigbiddy Dave.
I'll cover you back up. Sorry, I stopped squeezing your head. Squeeze his head again for me.
Skinny Mickey.
Give it a good fucking squeeze and a rub. So they're pretending, you know, being like, oh, all these people are getting on a flight, and then we're looking out, and we see it in the night time. It could be fucking anything, mate. Could be absolutely anything. Could be meteorites, keep squeezing.
Skinny Mickey.
It could be, obviously it could be aliens or something. It could be government technology. It could be some form of roof. Just some sort of like pagoda that gets put over us at night time to give us a night time, because they're like, oh, too much sun's bad for them, and we need them to believe in winter and that, so we're going to cover the sky of a night, but we've got to cover it a little bit earlier because we've all got stuff to do, you know, because it's getting towards Christmas. We've got to all go and do our Christmas shopping, keep squeezing.
Skinny Mickey.
And these are, you know, they're like, oh, we'll cover it earlier, then we can all still nip to the shop rather than having to stay in work until, 10 o'clock at night like we do in the summer before we bring the roof over to stop the sun. Do you get what I mean? It just seems like it could be made up, mate. That's what I'm thinking. But either way, I hope you and your kids, and I presume Mrs., but he hasn't said. If it's not Mrs., then I apologise. Your fella, I'm not sure. He just says you're married with 2 daughters, and you've bald head and that. So, I'm presuming the bald head, and not to get stereotypical, but Anyway. Merry Christmas, mate.
So that was your first Christmassy one. That was a little Christmas message for a lad that looks like Phil Mitchell, and maybe his daughters do, who knows. But I thought I'd give you a little discount code. You've obviously got Fat Pete's prints if you want to go to Fat Pete. That's Dead Rat, all in capital letters, on the Etsy link in the description below. But a little Christmassy discount again. We've had the discount before, but I'll remind you of it. So the code is Sexy Table, all in capital letters. That's SEXYTABLE. And then you can download me digital book. Here's How to Date an Antique Table, a Lover's Guide. You can give that a read now for £1, mate. Or you can just join the Patreon. Join the Patreon for £3 a month, and you get access to all of those. Patreon.com/worldaroundyou. And you get the Christmas episode as well. I put out a Christmas daily update where I tried to talk to myself for an hour straight without notes or anything, just pure waffle out my head. Managed about 35 minutes before I needed to look down at the page to see what I'd made a note about. So I was quite happy with that. So you can go and listen to that. You can even watch that as a video if you join the Patreon to see what that's all about. You get a 7-day free trial as well. Patreon.com/worldaroundyou. Sexy Table, Dead Rat. There's all sorts of stuff, mate. Little Christmassy bonuses for you. And there's a discount on the OnlyFans as well through December if you fancy giving that a bash. Maybe you want to give something else a bash at the same time, so give that a try. No nudity out like that though, but you might like it, who knows. We'll crack on with the next one, mate. We'll have one that's not Christmassy, we'll sandwich it in the middle, and then we'll finish with another Christmas one. So here's your next one. Here you are. Tigbiddy Dave.
No fox squeaky puppet for you, unfortunately. I normally start these by squeezing a fox puppet at the camera, and it helps for the camera to pick up the sound as well, but hopefully this is still picking this up. I can't actually get to the studio today, but I did tell
Backdoor Gregard
do this video for you because it's your birthday, innit, today, so happy birthday.
Tigbiddy Dave.
This is one of my abominable snowmen. It's actually my abominable snowman. I've called him Clive. I keep him here. This is a rat's ball sack, his head, and then it's just half of a rat. Fucking hell. It's trying to attack me, mate. It's trying to get its own back on me. It's half of a rat, except I've took its feet off as well and then reattached them in a few cuts. And my only regret is it doesn't have much of an arse, to be honest. It'd be nice to give them little nipples as well, but we can't have it all, can we? I've got to. I'm probably going to have a go at taxidermy and Theo, though. Now, I don't know who or what Theo is.
Backdoor Greg
didn't think it necessary to tell me what Theo is. I'm gonna guess, because it's Theo, I'm guessing it's a cat, because it sounds like a cat's name. Because shouting Theo in a park sounds a bit fucking weird, doesn't it? So I don't think anyone would really name the dog Theo. It's quite hard to say in my accent as well, Theo, because it becomes an F, because I'm fucking mank. So I wouldn't be in a park going, Theo! Theo! Because I've got to think about that noise. Theo! Like that, I look like a fucking gimp, me. Theo, come here! It's not, I can't really do it. Where it's shouting like, Theo! Theo! Like that, but that just sounds like I'm shouting Theo. And if people see a dog and they think, he can't pronounce his D's, that lad, where's he from? Because they'll all think I'm going, Fido! Fido! Fido Fido Fum, like a little giant thing, just chasing after tiny dogs, shouting Fido Fido Fum. And I remember though, I don't know if you'll remember this,
Tigbiddy Dave.
but we did bump into each other. I don't know if you remember. We was in, we weren't in Home Bargains, it was near Home Bargains, and you were wearing that sort of, I can't think what the fabric would be called. No, not velvet, like fake velvety sort of, like very thin fabric. It was lovely. You know, I was like, oh, you're right,
Tigbiddy Dave.
and you were like, I don't know who you are. I was like, oh, I've been watching you on Facebook for years, love, just keeping an eye, you know, because I'm hoping that one day your kid will be, you know, he'll be like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna treat me mum to a message from this guy that's been stalking me mum on Facebook. And so I had to follow you around for a bit, didn't I? But this was a few years ago before I even knew I'd be doing these videos. You know, everyone has a hobby, innit? Like, I like to turn my hobbies into profit, mate. So initially it was cutting up animals, and that became a job. You got to move on, aren't you, to bigger and better things, you know, in new hobbies. And fishing would be a good hobby, but there's easy money to be made in fishing. You just steal fish, don't you, from a canal, and then sell them to people in a pub. But that's a bit, you know, you got to carry the fish around in these thick bin bags. Maybe get them old-fashioned bins, you know, the ones that say do not put ash inside, the plastic ones. Fill them with water, newts, frogs, a couple of fish, you know, a handful of perch in there, mate. You fucking earn yourself 15, 20 quid down the pub trying to sell perch to piss people. Like, yeah, do you want to fish with a fin? Like a big long fin sharp thing goes down the back. And they'd be like, maybe. Well, what else have you got? Like, I've got a roach, mate. It's like, roach, what about a bream? Got a bream for you. Now, if you're not into fish,
Tigbiddy Dave.
this is all going to mean nothing to you, innit? But, you know, I've not got much else to go off. And I mean, I don't remember much about our encounter. I know you kept looking at me as if to go like, hey, hello, who's this? But that could have been a, who's this? Kind of thing. You know, I'm not very good at reading faces, innit? Or I'm not particularly good at tone either, to be honest. But it was nice bumping into you anyway. It was nice seeing you. I did think it was a bit strange that you were wearing shoes that didn't quite match the sort of velvety top. It was a bit weird to just see you getting about in. They look like sort of like slip-on shoes, like you'd been down to, you know, like what's it called? That shop in Stockport where it's got like a red, like shoe fair, shoe market, you know, one of them where people go to buy school shoes. You know, it looked a bit like you'd been in there, but I thought, you know, I'm not going to hold
Tigbiddy Dave.
to it, you know, it's not that bad of a thing, do you know what I mean? I'll be dead honest with you.
Tigbiddy Dave.
I've noticed it's very hard to think on your feet sat down like this, do you know what I mean? But he's not giving me much to go off. But I hope you have a nice birthday. Do you want to see Clive's hat? Clive's got an hat, mate. He's also got a little companion as well, which I can never remember the name of. But, here's, fucking hell, nearly broke my neck there. Here's Clive's hat. Maybe I could make Theo into one of these if Theo's a cat. There you are. Clive gets a little hat. It's a Christmas one of the only Christmas decorations I'll have in my house is this little pink hat. And here's a miniature abominable snowman. Not many people have really seen him. I made him for me missus and then we keep him in a cloche on the mantle. I've got this though. I'll show you this, what I gave me missus. You're getting a sort of like special sneak peek, bit of special treatment.
Tigbiddy Dave.
For my second favourite.
Tigbiddy Dave.
I have a favourite.
Tigbiddy Dave.
I do have a favourite.
Tigbiddy Dave.
I only know one.
Tigbiddy Dave.
Other than you.
Tigbiddy Dave.
You're the only
Tigbiddy Dave.
thing that I know of but haven't met. But here you go. Looking at me. It's a cat's head. I gave it to me missus for our anniversary. It's mint, innit? What do you reckon to him? I didn't make him myself. Obviously the eyes are wrong, innit? The eyes would be googly eyes if I'd made him. But he could probably do with a bit of a dusting, to be fair. But I don't know what else to say to you, mate. I was thinking the other day about David Attenborough and about how much he might be a villain. Do you never get that impression now when you're watching TV and you just see these famous people on telly and people that have been around for a long time, like industry Goliaths, you know, like David Attenborough, probably not Eamon Holmes. Eamon Holmes is up there though with David Attenborough as like TV royalty though, isn't he? I would never say it though about Keith Chegwin though or Bruce Jones. To be fair, it is just David Attenborough.
And he just seems a bit dodgy, innit? I know I might be a bit biased because I like to chop up animals and he would probably be against it. But I just get the feeling that it's going to come out and everyone's going to show pictures of him online and we're going to see these like monstrous eyes he's got where he just looks like a demon incarnate, and we're going to be like, it was so obvious. Bit like with Jimmy Savile, do you know what I mean? There's a little, you got to admit, there's a little something, isn't there? There's a little flavour, a little possibility that he might be mental. And it might be that he's, you know, and he was, I've made this point before as well, you know, it's not the first time I've made the point. He was supposed to be close to the Queen as well, wasn't he?
Tigbiddy Dave.
And Jimmy Savile were close to the Queen as well. He was like Merlin. Now, these are all old points that I've made before, but you might not have heard them.
Tigbiddy Dave.
And I was wondering, you know, maybe this is what you're thinking about on your birthday, as you're clutching Theo close to your chest. Maybe Theo's a rabbit, mate. Maybe Theo's a rabbit. I wanted to turn a rabbit into an automatic air freshener for a while, but I've not been able to get round to it because I keep fucking it up. But I'm trying to think what else Theo could be. Like I can't, like, obviously I'm very excited to taxidermy Theo. I'll taxidermy anything. I don't like doing people's pets. I don't really do it, but I'll make a special thing for you.
Tigbiddy Dave.
And if it means it's going to upset you for your birthday, you know what I mean?
Backdoor Greg's
bequest, you know. Which is a lovely word, isn't it? Bequest. It's a mad little word. Bequest. Anyway, happy birthday, mate. I hope you enjoy your birthday. What do you reckon to these? These are all little Jesus lizards on crucifixes. It's my own branded clothes. I keep them knocking about in the house because no one wants to buy them. I don't have boxes of them around. I'm not a weirdo, innit? They're on my website. If
Backdoor Greg
wants to treat you to a little get your rat out t-shirt, it wouldn't be the first time as well that one of my customers on Cameo here has said to the mum, get your rat out. I had one the other week where he was apparently he gets pissed and he's constantly flirting with his mum, trying to kiss her, trying to tongue her. So I hope
Backdoor Greg's
not one of them. But maybe he is. Maybe this is his way of flirting with you.
Tigbiddy Dave.
Maybe Theo's, maybe you're one of them eccentrics. Maybe you've got like a beaver or a massive fat rat called Theo, and he's going to stuff it. How do you feel about him? He just wants to get cooked by his own mum. He's like, how do you feel about him stuffing Theo? Eh? Theo's like your code word, so your husband or whatever doesn't catch on, or like your neighbours through the wall when someone, because your neighbours would catch on, wouldn't it? If your son's shouting up the stairs to you, going, "Mum, do you fancy a bit?" And you're shouting down, going, "Yeah, let's just have a wash. Like, give us 5 minutes to just have a wash," you know. And then the neighbours would be like, "Oh my God, that's vile." And then but now if
Backdoor Greg
could be shouting up, going, "Is Theo up there?" You can shout, going, No, he's not here." Which means, you know, no, leave me be. I'm not in the mood, kind of thing. But I know this isn't your dynamic. I've not stopped thinking about it, mate, to be honest, because it's one of the weirdest things anyone's ever said to me, and it's probably going to bleed into a lot of these. But it's a fucking bizarre thing, innit?
Tigbiddy Dave.
I bet you're glad you've not got that bumping into you in the street, eh? Just some, like, long-lost son who wants to shag you. You know, you've just got a loving son and doting son, clearly, because he's wasted money on this, mate. Happy birthday, love.
It's mental, innit, that people are paying for these. So I'll run through some of the titles that I've got jotted down so far for the show. So from the first clip, we've got Fat Woman's Tit. Looks like a dog's tits. Can you see the nipples? Your missus looks like Phil Mitchell. And from that clip there, Mum, do you fancy a bit? Which I think are all solid titles. We'll crack on with the next one straight away, because I've already told you the discount codes. You know, no point repeating Sexy Table over and over, is there? You know, if you want to go and spend £1 on worldaroundyou.com. But you might go and sign up to the Patreon. 7-day free trial. You could leave before the end of the 7 days. Do the free trial. Listen to the other podcasts. Treat yourself over Christmas. You know, you're going to be, maybe you're at a family member's house and you don't like them. You're just there because you have to be there. Sneak off to bed early. Pop me in your ear. You can't sit and, you know, masturbate it out. Not in a family member's house. But you can listen to my podcasts. You know, you can sit there laughing to yourself, or, you know, thinking to yourself, what's going on here? I don't understand this. Rather than sitting in the room being like, oh yeah, go on then, Nan, we will play charades. Do you know what I mean? And it's fucking be a nice little ego boost for me as well, knowing that you're listening to the shows. But let's get on with the next one. Speaking of Christmas, this is the next Christmas one. As a point, before it starts, actually, changing formula a little bit for this one, because this one was for a group. They're in a class called Mech B, and I ended up doing 2 for them because the first one fucked up after about 10 or 11 seconds. My phone started flashing. No doubt I speak about it within the video. But so it's from Tig Biddy Dave in this case. It's going to be from Tig Biddy Dave, and it's 2 fucking whatever other names I come up with, but they're all in Mech B.
You alright, Mech B? You may have accidentally got a little shorter video there. My phone screen kept flashing on me. I didn't know what it was doing, and it was very distracting. Plus, I kept making reference to the Spice Girls, which probably didn't make that much sense anyway to you, as imagining these are a group in college. What does the Spice Girls mean to you if I'm going on about Scary Mech and Mech C and Sporty Mech? You know, it was not going to mean anything to you, innit? But Merry Christmas, guys, and Happy New Year, you know. Now, they want me to speak about some of yous, innit? And We'll start with
Scabby Pete.
You've got apparently
Scabby Pete's
got a shit hairline. So who's got a shit hairline? Here we go. He's got a bit of a shit hairline, hasn't he? Look at him. Starts right back behind his fucking eyes, mate. This is my little tufty churner. There, tufty stirrer. There's a bit of duckling skin on there. I've got quite a lot with haircuts for you, because apparently a lot of you have bad haircuts. I would suggest, though, that
Tig Biddy Dave,
who's got you this, needs to think of better insults for you. Honestly, guys, what it actually does is make
Tig Biddy Dave
seem very, very insecure. Now, I'm hoping
Tig Biddy Dave
might be your teacher who's thought, you know what would be really inappropriate? Get this weirdo off the internet to put this on, and we'll pop it up on the whiteboard, you know, for us all to watch. But it would be good if it was your teacher. I'll stop messing about with that, because that's just going to distract me. But what else have we got?
Fat Ben and Camp Luke.
They've got shit trims as well. This guy's obsessed with hair. Like, why is he obsessed with hair? What's his thing with hair? Do you reckon he's one of them that sits behind people on buses? Like, this is like
Tig Biddy Dave's
on the bus, and he's just sat there, and a pretty girl or a pretty guy, you know, he's at college, you know, it's time for that, innit, I suppose. And they're sat in front of you, and Jake's just there going, looking around like someone's looking in through the window, watching him, judging him, because he knows he's about to be judged if he gets caught doing what he does. And he just goes like that, has a little sniff of the person's hair in front, and he's like, oh, it's head and shoulders, it's not for me. Do you know what I mean? Because he's fucking obsessed with hair. But who's got, so I mean, you can argue amongst yourselves, but who's this then? Who's trims that most like? Because I don't have a very good haircut myself, to be honest, guys. I can't really bully anybody's haircut. But which of yous is a bit fat as well? Because none of these are like, oh, fucking Dave's fat. Do you know what I mean? There's none of that. There's none of fucking take the piss out of, you know, Big Dave, Fat David. There's none of that, mate. It's almost like you don't know how to properly bully each other either. And some outdated stuff, like apparently
Matthew's brother.
You look like Sloth off the Goonies. That's a weird insult, but I do like
Squinty Chris.
Oh,
Squinty Chris has
been making love to his remote control car, which is it's impressive and upsetting in one way, because you know, I can't imagine there's that big of a hole on an RC car. There's not. What hole is there? Like a charging port. So he's just. You should call him DC, mate. It should be his fucking
Squinty Chris.
It should be DC, because he puts his dick in cars and he's putting it in the DC port of the car. So hopefully there,
Squinty Chris.
We've given you a new nickname. What else have we got? You've told me to tell you about
Fat Ben's
sister. Now I can only imagine what
Fat Ben's
sister looks like, but I'm imagining sort of 21, 22, quite short. You're not quite sure where she's from. Let's say you're not sure where she's from. She's got, you know, like quite sparkly eyes, dark hair. Bit curly, the hair. Not proper curly, but there's a little bit of a curl to it. And whenever she speaks to you, she's looking up at you like that, and you can't help but think to yourself, fucking hell,
Fat Ben's
sister. Oh, if you were
Fat Ben's
sister, hey, you know, that's what you're probably all think. Unless, of course,
Fat Ben's
sister's 5 and you all have something seriously wrong with you. Which is possible, you know. Maybe you are trying to get me to say some shady things about a toddler. You know, it's possible. I don't know what
Fat Ben's
sister looks like. This is a lot funnier. That's the sort of thing I probably would have done.
I would happily have paid someone on here if this existed when I was in college and I had the fucking spare money to get a group of friends. If I had a group of friends as well. There's a lot of ifs with this. But if, I probably would have got someone who was recognised on the internet by about 50 people to say, your little sister's well fit, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because that's a fucking hilarious thing to do to your mate. To get, what else have we got?
Grabby Kev.
AKA Uncle Fester. See, that would be a weird insult because Adam's family's not been about for a while, but Wednesday came out, innit? Now, I don't really have any Uncle Festery things. Then again, this is kind of Uncle Fester-ish. I forgot I had her here. That's Mary from my nativity. Her face is made out of rat scrotums. You see it? All the wrinkles on there. And a little grouse claw for the nose and a mouth. So like a beak. But I didn't have a beak, so I used a claw. That's a little bit Uncle Fester-ish. She's got like weird skin and bald, isn't he? What else have we got here? This is quite nice. It's a long little list.
Ricky? Richard the Tickler? Rick the Tickler. Ricky the Tickler.
It's a knockoff version. See, I'm not sure how if they've put
Ricky the Tickler has
spelt right, because then they've spelt knockoff without a K. That's why I'm struggling here to. But either way, apparently you're a knockoff version of Jason Derulo, and I'm not overly sure who that is. Sounds like it'd be a porn star's name though. Sounds like it might be a male on male porn star. To be honest, that sort of name. I don't know. I don't know Jason Derulo. Honestly, it's not ringing a bell. But I wish I had a joke for it. I really wish I do, but I haven't got anything for that. So you're either very lucky,
Rick the Tickler,
or maybe Jason Derulo is a bit weird looking. But unless knockoff normally means there's something kind of wrong with it, doesn't it? So say like you buy a coat and like the Nike ticks go in the wrong direction. Maybe that's their way of saying maybe potentially you look like you could have some form of LD, but they don't want to say that to you.
Ricky the Tickler.
Because maybe you're a scary guy. Maybe Jason Derulo's a scary individual. But maybe they're looking at you going, he looks like Jason Derulo, but there's just a little bit something off. His eyes are a little bit too close to his eyes, are a little bit too far apart. The way he speaks is just a little bit, maybe something like that. I mean, you've already got Sloth off the Goonies, and he was an LD kid, wasn't he? Or an LD man. He was probably a paedophile, but we didn't really understand that he was a paedophile, because he was, from what I remember from the Goonies, wasn't he like a 45-year-old demented man who also looked crazy, who had been living on a pirate ship? Or I may have misremembered it, but I'm sure he was like fucking hanging around with kids as an adult, which is pretty strange. Then we got
Father Gary.
Here's
Father Gary.
So this is my interpretation.
Father Gary.
Because fiddler also means plays the violin, so anything with a violin that I sell is a fiddler. But I'm guessing that, because they've said I'll let you use your imagination for that one, so I'm guessing he drives a Corsa. That's my guess. I'm guessing he drives a Corsa and he likes to try and convince 13-year-old girls he's going to buy them a Happy Meal. But that's just a guess. Just a guess. Because some things never change, innit? Them people exist constantly all through time. There's always some weird lad driving a Corsa who wants to fucking try and get his end away with fucking younger girls. We got
Chubby Hannah.
I'm guessing is a girl, but I could be wrong.
Chubby Hannah.
Apparently looks like Beetlejuice. Now, I'm not sure. I recently found out that the Beetlejuice that I go to in my mind, when I was on Dead Men Talking, turns out isn't the Beetlejuice everybody else thinks of. I think the little black fella off of the Howard Stern, I often think people mean him, but they don't. They mean a film where this guy was in a pinstripe suit, which I've never watched. Again, this is the weird references, man. Very strange, outdated references for a bunch of people at college. Mate, I love the idea, though, that
Tigbiddy Daves,
like some 45-year-old who just happens to be going through college again. Maybe he's been in prison, possibly for nonsense, but maybe he's just gone. Maybe he's had a shit life so far, shit job, blah blah blah. He's ended up in college. He's surrounded by youths, and he's thought to himself, "Look, I've got a little bit of money compared to these. Let's make their Christmas special. Let's get that guy off the internet that makes rats into pencil cases. Let's get him to say Merry Christmas, McB, and Happy New Year. And then, he can even get his rat pencil case, open it up, and show them his little baby Jesus with a rat scrotum face and a baby chicken's beak for a mouth. That's maybe what
Tigbiddy Daves.
Thought maybe
Tigbiddy Daves.
Truly.
Father Gary.
Maybe
Tigbiddy Daves.
projecting. Imagine if
Tigbiddy Daves.
projecting with all of this. I shouldn't be knocking him so much because he's the one that's paid for this, but it is fun to do, isn't it? It is fun to insist that,
Tigbiddy Dave
wants to get it away with
Fat Ben's
sister. He maybe likes hairdressing. Mate, that's it.
Tigbiddy Daves.
It's upset. Not only, right, as
Tigbiddy Dave.
who's declared himself a he/him, bought a present for a bunch of other guys in a class, that's weird. For my age, that's pretty weird, right? That's like giving Christmas cards or birthday cards to guys. That's a bit strange. Unless your parents do it without your knowing, fair enough, odd, but not as strange as you getting it for them yourself. But then also, he's also been obsessed with haircuts. Like he really wants
Fat Ben and Camp Luke.
to get a better haircut. Who else? There was another one.
Sexy Keith.
They're saying
Sexy Keith's.
got a slightly better hairline than,
Scabby Pete's.
but he's from Sunderland, which again is mate. I'm not in enough. I love that they've got all this description, but I'm not in enough for this to be able to be like, oh yeah, I couldn't even place Sunderland on a map, mate. So I'm not too sure. In my eyes, Sunderland is probably going to be one of them that kind of sound like, oh yeah, I'm from Sunderland, like that, but that sounds like Midlands-ish, so I don't know if Sunderland's Midlands or very north, I'm not sure. Who else have we got here? I think we've gone through all of yous there, but well, either way, this was either terrible, or yous enjoyed it, or what else do I have to show yous? Oh, they are, right, that's each of you, and this, that's
Fat Ben's.
sister, mate. Merry Christmas.
And that's it. So thank you for listening. Merry Christmas. Have a nice Christmas, and Happy New Year, and whatever else is the thing people say to each other that you'd get in a greetings card. When you want to buy new stuff, come to my website next year. It'll be back open on about the 3rd of January. Don't forget the discount code SEXYTABLE, the discount code DEADRAT. Dead Rats for Fat Pete's Prince. And, go and try the other podcasts. Leave a 5-star rating. Answer the Q&A if there is one underneath. Do the polls. Share it in your stories, mate. Go and listen to me videos on YouTube. Well, I'll just leave them playing all over Christmas for us. Spread them round on Reddit, mate. Send it to a friend. Help us reach more people with all my stuff. It'd be nice to get the podcast to reaching more people. It'd be nice for them to become somewhat profitable. That'd be pretty nice. Speaking of profitable, don't be a bell end. Listen to these couple of adverts at the end if you don't mind without skipping, because then I'll get a fraction of a penny. I'll fucking see yous in a bit, mate. Merry Christmas.